Which balanced equation represents a chemical change? Well, we can see that all of these involve energy, so that doesn't help us any. What we need to do is find out which ones involve a change in actual composition. Here, H2O in the liquid state becomes H2O in the gaseous state. Well, evaporation is not a chemical change. Here, liquid water, by giving off energy, becomes solid water, or ice. Again, a change in state is a physical change. Here, gaseous water precipitates out to liquid water by giving up some energy. Again, a change of state is not a chemical change. It's just physical. Here, two water molecules plus some energy have broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. Two new substances that did not exist here. So this must be the chemical change. Correct answer is F. This equation represents the formation of aluminum oxide. Which of these represents reduction? Well, aluminum in its elemental state has a 0 charge, but here we know that aluminum is in an ionic state with a +3 charge. Aluminum has been oxidized. Let's look at the other species. We have Fe, which has a +3 charge. We know that because oxygen has a -2 charge always, and 2 times 3 is equal to -6. The positive charge must be +6, and there are 2 of the irons. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Over here, iron is in its elemental state, so it must have a 0 oxidation number. We've gone from +3 to 0. +3 to 0 is reduced. So the iron 3 is what is being reduced. Note that I didn't say iron. Iron is the product of the reduction, but the species that's being reduced is the iron 3. And our last question: what are the products of a reaction between a strong acid and a strong base? And we've mentioned this many times: a salt and water. Our classic example is HCl plus NaOH. The two parts of the acid and the base become NaCl, and the H and the OH become HOH, otherwise known as H2O. Salt and water are always the products of the reaction between an acid and a base. Some of these you can toss out. 2 different elements, or a weak acid and a weak base. They're just in there to throw you off. This one here is confusing because HCl does dissociate into H ions and Cl ions. And NaOH does dissociate into Na ions and OH ions. So you might be tempted to think that hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions, hydrogen and hydroxide, is the correct answer. But remember, these two get together to make water. And these two get together to make a salt. Individually, acids produce hydrogen ions, and individually, bases produce hydroxide ions. But when they're together, they produce a salt and water.